Good afternoon, it's Rachel Smith, Business Grower, and I'm here today to share the second breakthrough session for you where we will be talking about content. So I'm Rachel Smith, Business Grower. I am a business coach and mindset expert, and I am the founder of the 5K Club, which is a unique space to be when you are a female entrepreneur who is ready to take action in her business and actually generate consistent months of income in your business. So a little bit of a caveat about the recording that went out yesterday. I currently have a slight technical problem that didn't allow me to upload yesterday's video. I have planned a work around that if I continue to have a problem with that. I know it's lots of you want the recording, and that's what I've promised you, so I have had my thinking hat on about how I could get through this. But this is what happens with technology. It's fantastic until it breaks. So for any of you who's watching this who's like, well, I really wanted the recording, it is coming your way, don't worry. So today we are talking everything content. Content is absolutely key. It's absolutely key for you in business, for you to get seen and heard by your amazing audience that you can then convert to paying clients. That's the reason why we use content. We have at our fingertips so much amazing kind of ways that we can create content, and lots of it for free. For example, I'm running this workshop today completely free. All I needed was access to Facebook account, and away we go. So many really creative, brilliant ways that we can create content. But I understand that so many people feel fairly stuck with creating content as well. So we'll be talking about how you can become like a content creator, how you can really importantly start to become quite strategic about your content, and then you will be mapping out your key content themes for 2020. And I know we're at the end of February, so you only have 10 themes to map out. So it's all going to be absolutely fine. In fact, we've got fewer than that to do, but bear with me, I will be sharing that with you. So there is an opportunity for a hot seat as well. So if you're joining me live, there's an opportunity for you to sit in the hot seat and get your questions answered. So my eyes on your business. And I suppose before we get into today's content, it's just a reminder to have a pen and a piece of paper handy, because this is not a Snoozeville workshop. This is your opportunity to hear a load of relevant content, and then for you to actually apply it whilst we're on the call to your business as well. So I really appreciate that. Actually finding some time in your busy life extremely difficult, and I really want for you to benefit and have that breakthrough from listening to today's content. So that's my kind of wish for you. So let's talk about my approach to content. I'm just going to put the chair up because I kind of feel like I know what's happened. I've had a little person in here. That's it, that's better. So I kind of felt like I was hiding, which isn't very good when we talk about content, because content is all about you being visible. So personally, from a personal point of view, when I was thinking about creating content, I was like, well, I'm really good now at creating content. I know how to use it strategically. I'm never stuck for an idea. And if I am, I go back to the strategy that I'm going to share with you, and I can quickly start to unlock the ideas. But it wasn't always that simple for me. And I suppose when I think back to my own journey on creating content and having that ability to connect with an audience, I thought it was going to be really easy when I came into business. So as a business owner, we are creative people. That is essentially what we're here. We're here to create offers, opportunities. We're here to create the most amazing work with our clients, and we're here to create content as well. So that often means that you are quite a creative person. So back when I was a child, I loved writing. I would spend hours writing stories. In fact, I even wrote a book once. So when I got into running my own business and I could see that creating content was really, really essential, I was delighted. I was like, oh my God, this is going to be really easy for me because I love writing and I can write to my heart's content, and this is going to be really, really easy. However, what I found to be true in the early days of running my business was it was quite difficult for me to be visible. And the kind of struggle that I had with creating content, and the struggle that I had about being visible in the early days was, and I didn't know that this even existed until I actually started going out there and started putting some content out there, is that actually what I bumped up against, and let me know if you also have had this experience or currently feeling like this, is what I bumped up against is the fear of putting content out there. That's what I was kind of struggling with in the early days, is that I had an absolute fear about what people would think of me actually putting content out there. It felt as though I was really making myself very vulnerable by creating content and putting it on the internet. And there's lots of horror stories, isn't there, that can make you feel as if it's not safe for you to do that. And I was really, really worried about what people would think about me. And I was worried also, and this was a massive one for me, was I was worried about saying the wrong thing and upsetting someone. So that actually meant that creating content for me in the early days was a struggle. I really did have to work on my fears and my beliefs around that to actually work through what actually worked and really kind of dialing down that internal critic within me that was stopping me from going out there and being visible. And one of the key things that I learned in this experience is that I had to give myself permission on two things. I had to give myself permission to let go of that fear, to let go of the fear of upsetting people and saying the wrong thing. And I had to let go of any awareness of what people may or may not be saying or thinking about me because I put myself out there on the internet. So that was one thing that I had to give myself permission about. And that really allowed me to start to create content in a really deep, connective way. And I'm going to explain why that is so important. And the other thing that I had to give myself permission about, and this is quite a key one, is that when I got online, I was really excited by lots of things. You know, it's an exciting opportunity, isn't it? Hi, Lisa, lovely to see you here. So I was really excited about seeing this as a possibility, but I was overwhelmed with everybody else. So I would be comparing my business to people who were much further down the road, and they, well, let's talk about somebody current. So if we think about somebody like Amy Porterfield, you know, she's got a weekly podcast. She has really immense opportunities to go and speak at events, to run challenges, launches, webinars, and to get into affiliate opportunities as well. And when you look at somebody like that, and you see the amount of content that somebody is churning out like that, that can feel really overwhelming when you think, hang on a minute, I'm one person in my business. How can I possibly create that much content? But when I give myself permission to recognize that actually I'm comparing myself to somebody who is running a multi-million-pound business with a team of people, that's when I got quite unstuck, and I was like, right, this is fine. What I can put in place is a simple strategy that allows me to be me, to get out there, to connect with my audience, and to do it in a way that doesn't make me feel overwhelmed and that is doable, because we all want that, don't we? We all want to be able to do something consistently, and we want to do well. And when you let go of your own internal head that's telling you that you need to be as good as the next person or the person above you, actually frees you up. It makes life a lot easier. So let me know if that resonates, if you're like, oh my God, yeah, I've just realized that I've been comparing myself to somebody else who's got a much bigger business and who has got a ton of support in their business as well. Now, what I want you to remember is content, the purpose of content. And just as a side note, the reason why the light's changing is because it's cloudy outside. So I know that I'm going dark and bright. It's not an awful lot I can do about it. So the reason why we're creating content is to connect with people. And in order for you to be able to connect with people, you want to be able to present yourself to your audience as the person who you truly are. Because ultimately, when you put an offer to those people, they are buying you. And they want to feel connected to you in advance of any sale being put in front of them. And your content gives you an opportunity, and I'm going to describe that in detail, and you're going to work through this for yourself. But your content gives you an opportunity to create that connection so that it becomes a really simple yes for people to come and work with you. And certainly thinking back to my journey, where my first content was very safe, it was very guarded, it was very perfect, I would have spent hours stressing over it, to now, when I give myself permission just to create and just to be and just allow any mistakes to go out there, because there's just me in my business with some level of support, but this is how it is. I receive so many emails from people who tell me that the content that they've read or heard from me excuse me, feels as though I've lifted the top of their head off. It's not even a nice expression, is it? It feels like I've looked inside their deepest, darkest fears and actually spoken their truth. And this is the level of content that we want to get you to. We do not want any content going out to the world where it's just white noise and people just wash over whatever it is that you've created. You are creating content for a purpose, to connect with your audience. We want that audience to get to know who you are, to understand that you've got something brilliant for them, and that the next time that you put an offer out there, that they're all in for coming and working with you. So I really want for you to think about the permission you need to give yourself so that you can be the true version of yourself that allows you to create content and engagement so that people feel as if you completely understand where they're coming from. So just have a think about what do you need to let go of in order for you to feel that free and able to actually go out there and generate such connective content, because that's what we want. And if anybody's got any questions about that, just let me know. I'm just going to have a quick drink. I've been talking a lot today. So now, we all see content all the time, and I understand that content can really feel quite a struggle for people to create, especially on a consistent basis. And we'll talk about the reasons why it's important for it to be consistent in a minute. However, when you realise that you are not creating content for the sake of content's sake, because Rachel's told you or another coach has told you to create content, when you actually become intentional about your content, that's when you become a content creator. That's when you become like all switched on about the content, that you really step into owning that part of your role in your business. And in the early days, this might be a job that you need to do. Later on, you can outsource it. But in the early days, it is your role to create content, because actually you are marketing your business. So we talk about content, but actually it's content marketing. So I really want for you to understand that. And if we're talking about marketing, this is about you becoming strategic. And that doesn't mean it's boring. It's about making it purposeful. So instead of just sitting there every morning thinking, right, what should I create now? You already have that clarity because you have you have that strategic view of what is happening in your business. And if you don't worry, we will get you there. So there are three levels, there are three types of content that you want to be creating in your business. The first level of, the first type of content that you want to be creating is awareness content. So that is for people who are just starting to get to know you. And this is content that you create that allows people to get to know who you are, what your business is, what you do, what expertise is, to understand a little bit about who, what makes you tick, what is your why, what is your passion, what is the reason why you've got this business. So that is the first piece of content that you want to be creating in your business. And I'm going to share with you an example of when and what type of content to create around that. So awareness. I hope you're writing that down. If you're not already aware of this, I want you to write that down. The first type of content that you're creating in your business is awareness content that really allows you to be you and for you to connect with that audience. So it starts to give you an idea of the type of content that you create. The second piece of content that you want to be creating is your nurture content. So this is where you allow yourself and your audience to connect. This is where you demonstrate your expertise. This is where you share a little bit more of your journey. It might be where you get a little bit vulnerable, where you tell them about things and times when things haven't gone particularly well, but what you've done to overcome that. So this is your nurturing content. And this is really, really important, because when you become intentional about your content, and when you become strategic about your content marketing, you will begin to recognize that what the purpose of your content is to actually grow your audience, nurture your audience, and then ultimately sell to your audience. So this middle piece is your nurturing piece. It's all of the content that you create on a consistent basis that constantly connects you with your audience. The third type of content that you want to be creating in your business is your selling content. Yes, that's right. We are talking about selling. You have a business. The only way you will continue to have a business, the only way you'll grow, is by becoming comfortable with selling. And you can sell through your content. So if you think about this content, this is content that I'm creating. This has, in all visibility, this has a purpose. It's helping me grow my audience, nurture my audience, and ultimately sell to the people in the audience who are ready to come and work with me at a deeper level. So you have content where you are selling to your audience, and the type of content that is like even more about your story, maybe even more vulnerable. This is about the results that you've achieved in your business using the strategies and the expertise that you have. It's about the results that your clients achieve from working with you. It's about your case studies. It's about the reasons why people should come and work with you. Why you? Yes, this is the content where you get to blow your own trumpet, however uncomfortable that might make you feel. But this is your stage for selling your amazing products and services. So they are the three types of content that you want to be creating in your business. And in a minute, I'm going to share with you an example of how you use this intentionally in your business. Now, the kind of problems that I see with content is there's loads, isn't there? Is that, first of all, that people are not themselves. And they're just copying what somebody else is doing. Well, that doesn't help you stand out from the crowd, does it? You want to think about creating content that really allows your personality to come through, as relevant as that is to your business and to your audience. People are not consistent with their content. So I'm kind of illustrating some problems here, because I really want to demonstrate the importance of getting this into your business as a strategy. So when you're inconsistent with your content, is that you might do a bit of that awareness content, then you might be doing a bit of that nurturing content, and then it might get to the selling content, and you back out of it, and maybe you try a little bit of selling content and it doesn't work, or you think it hasn't worked, and you stop, and all of a sudden the rest of the world, they just think you've gone. They think that you're too full with clients. Or you've disappeared, you stopped running your business. They're not going to mourn your loss. They're going to move on to the next person. So all of that work that you've put in place, it will just be, the next person. The other problem that I see is that people are overwhelmed with creating all of the content. And again, the strategy that I'm going to share with you is going to really help make it really, really easy for you to have that clarity, for you to be able to take action, for you to be able to plan your content. I mean, how amazing would that be when you're actually planning your content? Okay, so I'm going backwards. So often I have notes and I'm like, oh, going backwards. Okay, so are you ready to become strategic with creating your content? So I'm going to give you an example. So give me some thumbs up, some hearts, or say yes in the comments box. The example I'm going to give you is based on my business, which is a service business. If you have a product business, you want to be using the 3 types of content regularly across your business. So let's say you were selling soap and you are, that's what you do. So you want to be kind of rotating those 3 types of content, probably every week. You want to be rotating that content throughout each week so that you're always selling your amazing products to your audience. When you have a product-based business like mine, when you have a service-based business like mine, it's slightly different. I personally don't choose to sell every single day. So that's not something I choose to do. I don't even choose to sell every single week. I used to. It was lots of fun. It was really exciting. But actually, to work more easily and gracefully, what actually really, really works very well for myself, for my clients, to get really great results, is to work in 90-day cycles. And then it becomes so much easier to actually plan and therefore take action. And that's what we want. We want for you to be able to take action. So the example that I'm going to give you now is how you can use those 3 types of content over a 90-day period. Okay, so this is bearing in mind that you, what's Lisa put? With content, I always think, should I be talking about websites or me and my business? Or should the first 2 types of posts be about me and the selling posts be about the websites and then rotate? Really great question. I'm going to unpick that for you actually, Lisa. Let me go through this example. Let me get to the end of it because I think it is really confusing, isn't it? So even though you're already going out there and creating content, it can be really confusing, especially if you're listening to lots of different versions or you're witnessing lots of different people's types of content. You're trying to figure out what they're doing and what's working well. So I will pick that for you. Let's see if I can answer some of that for you right now. So all of this, creating content is all about, it's not about you. And I think that's what people sometimes think it is, but it's not. It's about putting your soulmate client, your ideal client, at the heart of everything you do. Yes, I have said that ultimately we are creating content so you can sell more of your products and services, but ultimately your content really wants to be putting your soulmate client at the heart of everything that you do and thinking about how you can deeply serve them. And just as a kind of side note is selling is serving. So if you're thinking, well, that's great, I feel really comfortable about creating content on 2 lots because that's all about serving my audience, but actually I feel really uncomfortable about selling because it's not serving. And I believe you're absolutely incorrect there, because selling is serving. You are taking your client to the next level. There's only so much that you can get from free content. The real work happens when you actually have that monetary exchange. So never forget that selling is serving. You are serving your clients at the deepest level you could possibly do. So I always like to think also that content is, we're talking about strategy here. So, a bit of masculine energy, most definitely, but the way that you create connection with your audience is through your heart. So by putting your soulmate client at the heart of everything you do and really coming from a point of service, it really is more heart led than logic led, especially if you're looking to sell to other women as well. So like having a real heart-centered approach to things really help. And the reason why we want to do this is that the only time somebody will buy from you is when trust has been developed. So let's say that you ignore everything I said and you just went out there and you thought, I've listened to some free content, I'm just going to go out there and I'm going to put a couple of posts out and then I'm going to sell to people. In this current market, that no longer works. It used to work, like in the olden days, we're only talking about maybe 2 years ago, I could have jumped on a live, spoken to people who are both warm and a cold lead, and I could have converted like that. People have changed their buying habits, and that's absolutely fine, because when people's buying habits change, that just means that we have to change as well to actually adapt to how they're currently choosing to buy from us. So it's absolutely fine. But what I want for you to remember when you're looking at content is that you are constantly looking at how you can create trust through your content. The more that you can do that, the more that people will want to come and work with you, because trust is everything. So if you think about your own buying experience, you will have probably never gone and purchased something where you thought that the person is untrustworthy. So trust is essential here. Okay, so let's get to this example. So I've taken an example from my business. So I have, and this is a real life example actually. So I have a program coming up in the springtime, which is all about your relationship with money. So let's say, for argument's sake, it's called the Money Program. It's kind of working titles, isn't it? So I know that I have got, in Q2, I have got a program that I'm going to launch and sell, and it's all around women's relationship with money. And this is about female entrepreneurs with money. And side note, this isn't, I'm not using this so I can then sell this to you. This is just a live example. So I know in Q2 that I have this juicy offer coming up. And that's how I work. I work in 90-day blocks. So I work from the point that I know that I'm going to launch this in April. So that is kind of month 3 in that 90-day cycle. Perfect. So I know in month 2 and month 1, I need to be creating content that in the first instance, I want to be creating content that is all about raising awareness of me, like of me, but also of the problem that my ideal client has with regard to money. Because let's face it, sometimes our audience doesn't even understand that the problem that they have has a negative consequence on their desired results. So month 1 would all be about awareness. It would all be about awareness, and that awareness would be, so I've broken it down. So let's, I get very carried away when it comes to this because it's so cool. So let's say that I know that I'm promoting a program that's all about women's relationship with money. So I would choose month 1 to be the month where I'm raising awareness. So I have my very first kind of step that I would be taking. And this step is to know that the key topic that I am going to be speaking to women for a 4-week period is about money. Now, that is the first topic, and this is how you can start to break down your own content, is to have a topic that leads your audience through to the point of sale. So you know what that end point is, that I want people to buy the Money Program. So within that first month, I then think about 4 subtopics of money that I could create content about that helps raise awareness. So let me know if that is clear. So the way that I've looked at it is that week 1, I would talk about money blocks. So I'd raise awareness that we all have money blocks. I would raise awareness to what they are, what the consequences of them are, and then in week 2, I might go a little bit deeper and talk about a specific block, which might be your money story. So again, I would explain what it is, how to recognize if you've got it, so on and so forth. Week 3, I would take my third subheading and talk about another kind of topic related to money that is relevant to my audience, which is about self-worth. So, when you have a poor relationship with money, your self-worth is down, therefore your prices is down, your visibility is low. So you get the picture. And then week 4, I would probably start to talk a little bit more about like my story, my success, my clients' successes, that sort of thing, about, the importance of working on your relationship with money. So you're raising awareness all the time. You're raising awareness to the fact that they might have these blocks, that they have a desire now and an understanding of the importance of working on those blocks. So in simple terms, you choose a topic for the month. So mine was money, and then you have 4 subtopics, 1 per week, that you then create content about. And how regularly you go out there is completely down to what you can manage. I love creating content, so I create content every single day. That isn't for everybody. Not everybody has that capacity to do that. So it's about deciding for yourself, what is possible for you, because this is all about you taking action. One of the things to be aware of, this is awareness. This whole thing is about awareness month, drawing people to me. So I would want to be going across relevant platforms. I'd want to be looking at going in and speaking to other people in other people's groups about it. I might have a freebie that's linked to the topic, and actually start to go out there. Might want to create some videos. You might structure your newsletter around that. You've got to remember that you're raising awareness. So yes, you're raising awareness within your own existing audience, but you actually want to go out there in that first month and draw more people to you. You want to raise your visibility. You want to attract people into you so that you've got a larger pool of people to actually promote your products and services with. So let me know if that makes sense. So that's step 1. Step 2 is your nurture sequence. You've gone out there in the first month. So just for clarity, in month 1, I'd be going out there creating content about money. I'd be raising people's awareness, and then I'd give them a call to action to download a freebie that would be about money, because I'd want to get those people onto my email list. Month 2 is my sequence. Okay, Marjorie, we can deal with that as well. So month 2 would be all about nurturing. I've gone out there, I've spread my net, I've got my people in. I want to nurture those people now. I'm not going to put an offer in front of them straight away, because we're building trust, aren't we? That's what we're getting to. So then that's kind of second month would be about like really getting to a point where people know that I'm an expert in women's relationship with money. And because I know that I've got a launch coming up, I would be looking to run something like a challenge, a webinar, something like that. And kind of part of your role in the nurture sequence is to get people signed up to that. So, you've gone out there, you've demonstrated who you are, your expertise. It's all about getting people to come in and be nurtured through your content, get them ready to sign up to your launch activity. And then the third and final step, and this is your third type of content, is your selling content. And this is where you have put your offer out there, and now you are using your content to sell. And the type of content that you want to be putting out there when you're selling is you're no longer, you're kind of nurturing the relationship, but you've got an offer now. You've been unapologetic, you've got something amazing, because you understand that you are serving your clients at the highest possible level with that offer. So you start to share content that's about its testimonials, its case studies, its results. It's why come and work with you. And one of the most important pieces of content that you can create in step 3 when you are selling is to create content. And I love this. This came from Bushra. She's amazing at this sort of thing. But it makes absolute sense, is to deal in your content with people's potential objections. And the first piece of content around that is your sales page, isn't it? So you want to be listing out all the potential objections that somebody might have to coming and working with you, and you just create bloody content around it. So you knock down those objections so that people are like, oh, right, okay, right, I get this. I can, I can do this because it's in bite-sized pieces. I have got time to do that. It is affordable. There's a payment plan. Oh, right, brilliant. We're going to be supported to take action. It's this. So can you see how you can suddenly start to create really like content that's going to help you grow your results? So it's, step 1, 2, and 3. It is awareness, it is nurturing, it is selling. And when you have a 90-day cycle, you can start to plot that in. It fits in really nicely, doesn't it? It's like, oh, look, we're in 90-day cycle. Month 3, we've got, we're selling, we're promoting, we're going for it, we're all in. Month 2, nurture, brilliant, we can do that. Month 1, we are raising awareness. And sometimes those areas kind of overlap. Now, as I said, if you've got a product-based business, you basically want to be kind of mixing those up and doing a little bit of each of those things every single week. Now, I've said it's a 90-day cycle. Some people cycle, like one of my clients in the 5K club, her cycle's way shorter than that. Her cycle's a month. So it's like week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. So it's nothing's ever fixed. You'll never hear from me that this is a formula that you've got to apply and it's got to be applied in a particular way. This is about giving you some tools, some ideas, some strategies that you can use and adapt into your business. So let me know if you've got any questions about that. Okay, so I want for you to have a little go at this. So hopefully you've got a blank piece of paper, and I promised that one of the things that you would learn on this workshop was the key themes for the rest of 2020. So it's very technical, is this bit. It's not technical at all. Basically, I want for you to on your notepad, piece of paper, whatever you got in front of you, is to basically draw a grid. So draw a line down the centre of your page and then one across the middle of your page. So you've got 4 very neat squares. That's lovely, isn't it? How convenient that we can do that. And basically, you've got the first square is Q1, the next one's Q2, Q3, Q4. And the reason why we do this, because we're planning in 90-day slots. So I want for you to think about, and this links back to yesterday's workshop, when we talked about what your key products and services are going to be, what your prices are. So I want for you to think about what product or service you will be promoting in these quarters. So you might have an idea, you might not, just have a little go. And Q1's easy because that's what we're in now. So for you in Q1, that might be all you have. That's maybe all your head can contain. I've got a year-long kind of plan, but like any plan, it's movable, isn't it? But I do have a general idea of what I've got coming up and when. And that makes life so much easier. So basically, in each of those 4 boxes, I want for you to write down the product or service that you will be promoting. And if you've only got enough information for Q1, that's what you've got, and that's absolutely fine. And then you do the same in Q2, Q3, Q4. And whenever you write anything like this down, it doesn't mean that it's set in stone that you absolutely have to do it. Don't want you looking back in December going, oh no, I said that I was going to do so-and-so in Q4, but I don't want to do that now because my business has changed a bit. That's absolutely fine. Plans, they should be drawn in pencil, shouldn't they? So all of a sudden, you know that, let's say in Q2, I know that I'm going to create and launch my money program. So all of a sudden, I know that my theme for that period of time is money. So you can now have a go at actually filling in what your key themes are. And you understand what your themes are because you're looking to create content that is relevant to your ideal client. You're putting your ideal client at the heart and you're looking to create solutions through your content that's going to help and serve them move forward. So whilst you have a go at that, let me just go back and look at these questions. I'm going to deal with Lisa's in more depth in a little while. Yes, so Marjorie's asked a really good question. Yes, you can do the cycle quicker. I'm glad you asked that question because I did mention it, but I can, just to reiterate that, you can. So as I said, if you've got a product-based business, you want to be doing these 3 types of content right across your business all the time. One of my clients in the 5K Club, she has a monthly cycle. So she's doing this in month 1, month 2, month 3, and then week 1, week 2, and then weeks 3 and 4, she's selling. So she's doing her freebie and then she's selling it from that point into the end of week 4. And then the cycle continues. And that's quick, isn't it? But you can do that, Marjorie, most definitely. Marjorie says, I take too long making content, spent hours on my talk for my launch, still not sure about it. Okay. It's thinking about your topic, isn't it? It's just pausing for a minute and thinking, right, okay, what do I want my client to do next? That is always what I'm thinking is. So I'm going to create content. I'm not creating it for the sake of creating content. I'm creating it with intention. So what do I want? What is the purpose of that content? So your talk is about raising awareness to who you are and what you do. So it's thinking about, you have an audience who, let's say your audience is a cold audience. So what is it that you can create as content that will help that audience to move, to make a difference, to have a greater understanding, to move closer to that bigger offer that you've got? So that's why I asked that question at the beginning, is what is the purpose of your content? Is to put an offer in front of them, your introductory offer. So I'd be thinking, right, my introductory offer solves these problems. What is that kind of common problem that women ask? I know Marjorie's business, I can get quite specific, but what is that common problem that those women are struggling with, that ask you about, that are posting in other groups about? What is that one thing? And you create a talk around that and you solve a little bit of it so that actually they're ready for more. They go, oh my God, she's got the answers. Oh, I could really see how this would make a difference. Right, if I only work with Marjorie, I can get the whole picture and get all of it done, resolved. I'll be better informed. Let me know, Marjorie, if that makes sense. So has anybody got any questions about actually planning out their 12-month content themes? And we're only talking themes now. So for me, quarter 1, it would be like creating content. Quarter 2, money. Quarter 3, client attraction. Quarter 4, something else. So that would be the sort of content themes that I would be putting in, and then I'd be working through the strategy that I shared with you, which was to have one key every single, you can brainstorm all of your content themes, have one main topic every month, and then have 4 subtopics under that. And then you could even have 5 subtopics under that if you wanted to get down to daily content. It's all about seeing the big picture and absolutely stripping it down. Okay, right. I'm going to just talk a little bit about the 5K Club. And then I'm going to actually put Lisa into the hot seat. I don't even know if she's still here. But if she is, well, Lisa, if you're still here, give me a thumbs up. But if not, obviously she can get the recording. So let me just share a little bit about the 5K Club. And this is like full clarity, it's like, obviously I love creating content. When I was doing my personal challenge of doing 30 days of video, I promised that I'd come into this group and actually share how I create content. And from following me, if you've just joined my email list, you'll see that I am creating content with intention all the time. And this is because I understand the importance of being visible. And it's one of the fundamental things that I help and support the members of the 5K Club with. So the 5K Club is my membership group for women who are ready to generate a consistent income stream, whether that's a consistent months of 1K, 2K, 3K, whatever. It's a 5K Club because that's kind of our benchmark. But obviously, you know, everything that you learn, you know, once you start generating consistent months of 4 or 5K, you can then scale your business beyond that. But I absolutely love working with women who are ready to take action, because that's one of the things that I'm looking for in my clients are those women who are like, yeah, actually, I'm all in. I'm going to give this my best shot. And yes, I understand I don't want to grow a business on my own anymore. That it feels too scary, too isolating. And yes, I want help and support, not just from Rachel, but from the other members of the 5K Club as well. And I understand that some of the things that I've talked about, like creating content, 90-day planning, it can all feel very, very overwhelming when you do it on your own. And because of that, and because of the importance of becoming quite intentional in your business, is that a lot of the elements that I've put into the 5K Club actually just help you with that. So it's one of the key things about the 5K Club as well is that it's a very intimate space. This isn't, you are never going to get lost in the group. It is an intimate group of like-minded women. One of my big things is to actually work with small groups of women, because I get to know you, I get to know your business, and therefore I can help and support you even further. So the 5K Club is somewhere where I'm active every single day. I'm there available to the members to review their sales page, to look at their business models, to help them create content. But I'm also there to coach. You know, I'm a qualified coach, I'm an NLP practitioner. I'm there to provide that accountability. Today, in fact, we're running our accountability day, which happens every single month. And it's really about me holding this space for you to come in and for you to have a safe place to actually grow your business. And one of the ladies who joined last week, like at the end of last week, she commented in the group that she was like, oh my God, in a week, I have taken so much action. And she was absolutely delighted with the amount of progress that she'd made in that first week being a member of the 5K Club. And that's what it's about, isn't it? It's about, we can learn all of these things, but actually the most important thing is that you actually put it into action. So some of the features of the 5K Club include a weekly coaching call with me, not with an associate, with me. So we get, you know, we talk about your business. It's like a mini mastermind call, really. You get coached if you need. If you've got some blocks, barriers, I'll coach you over those things. There's a monthly goal setting call where it's all about the clarity, isn't it? It's about every month going, all right, okay, I know what I'm focusing on now. I know the reasons why I'm focusing on that. And that is the reason. So we have a monthly goal setting call where I help you to embed those goals using NLP, which is amazing. We have our monthly accountability day, so you get shit done. And we have those all essential 90-day quarterly planning rounds where I work with you to help you put in place a 90-day plan so that you can then sit there and go, oh my God, I know what content I'm doing, I know what I'm launching, I know how I'm going to take my business forward. And as a coach, it gives me clarity on your business. So when you come into the club and you're talking about your business, or you want me to do something for you, which I will do, I have got that visibility. I have got that like knowledge of where you are going. So it's a really cool space. There's also training in there, which is an important element. And I've resisted the temptation to throw everything at you. I've created 12 training bundles that will give you everything that you need to help you generate consistent months of income. And also, and I'm really excited about this, I run special implementations, special challenges, and in March, when you join the 5K Club, you will access our very first free course that I'm running within the 5K Club. So one of the key things that we all need as business owners is that we need an audience. We need an email list. We need ways to raise awareness of what you do, of nurturing your audience so that you can get to sell it. So throughout March, I am running a free course over in the 5K Club that you can access, even if you just join us for then, which I hope you don't, but you can come in and actually grow your email list in 30 days, because that is the free course. And it is packed with value. There's going to be loads of support and accountability in there. So it's not just about sharing content with you, it's actually about getting you into action. So if you want to know more about the 5K Club, the doors are currently wide open until next Thursday. All the details are there. If you've got any questions about the 5K Club, if you want to come in just for a month, try it out, get your hands on that free course, you are more than welcome. Okay, so let me go back to some of the questions then, and thank you everybody who has posted questions. It's amazing. So Myra says, yes, I think I'm on track with explaining what I do, but nutrition for menopause, I'll be focused on food for specific symptoms. Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, and I would always say that if you're doing a 60-minute talk, you definitely want to take that opportunity to introduce yourself, talk about your own journey. Remember that you're there to create trust in any content that you create, but then you want to kind of give them something, like some of your expertise that's going to help them move forward. Don't give them it all, and I don't think it would be possible in the talk anyhow, but just to give them something where they can go, oh my God, she knows what she's talking about, and I want more of that. And then have a way that people can, make an offer, get people on calls, whatever it is that you want them to do, but make it really easy for them to say yes to you. So I hope that's answered that. Now, I want to go back to Lisa's question because I think it's really, really relevant. So Lisa is, she's amazing. She's one of the members of the 5K Club, and she's also my web designer and manager. But she's got many other hats as well. So she's got an online course. So part of her question is, with content, I always think I should be talking about websites and me and my business. Or should the first two types of posts be about me? And so she's asking, what content do you actually put out there? And it comes back to this question, doesn't it? What is the purpose of your content? So let's say, it's not usual for Lisa to even have any spaces available for her web site development. But let's say that that's what she was looking at. I don't even know if she's here, but let's say that she knew that in Q1 she wanted to sell 3 of her availabilities to have your website developed. So I would look at that as a topic, website. So I'd be thinking about my soulmate client, right? What are their problems? What are their challenges? What are the things that they are stuck about with regard to their websites? It might be that it's outdated. It could be on a platform that's no longer robust enough. It could be that they've been trying to create their own website, or maybe they've passed it on to somebody else and had a really horrible experience. So basically, I put my soulmate client at the heart of my content plan. I would look at, what is my purpose? My purpose is to position, let's say, at the end of a 4-week period, an offer to actually book in and have a website created by me. So what would I be doing in those 4 weeks? I would be looking to raise awareness. So that is, let's say week 1, that would be about sharing websites you've already created, testimonials, your story, how you got into it, what you're passionate about. That's kind of week 1. You might have a freebie. You might have a freebie like a checklist where somebody can actually pull down a checklist, actually get onto your email list. Week 2, you'd want to be doing some nurturing where you're sharing your expertise. So you could talk about various different topics. I don't really know much about websites, but you talk about various different topics where you demonstrate your expertise. So maybe you talk about plugins and security. You can see that. I don't really know about websites, but whatever those topics are that demonstrate you as an expert. And then week 3 is about putting your offer out there, telling people that you've got opportunities for people to come and work with you. So again, it's about case studies. It's about the results that you get. It's a little bit more about you. it's giving people an opportunity to jump on a call with you. And then week 4 is just selling, dealing with people's objections. So for Lisa, she might have people who are thinking, well, I don't really want to pay those prices, Lisa, because I'm going to build a website all for myself. So you could talk about the consequences of what happens when you decide to build your own website. And you could talk about, how you overcome that you can quickly, within 3 weeks, build them a beautiful 5 page website that does this, this, and this. So that's how I would be doing it, rather than looking at a week and thinking, right, I've got 5 days, what am I going to talk about? I would be thinking, right, okay, I've got, let's say in this example, 4 weeks. I know that in week 3 I'm going to put an offer out there for people to come and join me. So the first week is what I've just described, the second week is what I've just described, and the third week and the fourth week is selling. So I hope that's given some clarity about how to do that. If Lisa was a product-based business, so if she was selling candles or soaps or something like that, I would be rotating them more. But in this instance, let's say in this particular instance, Lisa is selling her website, her opportunity to build websites. So that's why I'd structure it like that. So let me know if you've got any more questions, if that has clarified it for you. If Lisa's not here, I know that she'll catch up later and get that clarity that she's looking for. So it's been brilliant. I've really loved creating this content. If you're interested in the 5K Club, the doors are open for just over a week. It is a really great opportunity. A lot of the people who are in the 5K Club are creating really brilliant success. We've got Mary in there who runs a beautiful candle shop, and she had the busiest month in December, in January, and she's starting to really show up in her business as the CEO of a really fabulous business. And she's learned so much being part of the 5K Club and achieved great results. We've got Lisa, who it just smashes every single month. She has put her prices up and she keeps selling these amazing websites. She's got her own online course now and she keeps having her best months ever. We've got Alison in there who runs a yoga business, and she sells her yoga retreats like that. And, we're talking about a lady who runs 3, 4, 5 retreats a year, and she just sells them. No problem at all. And these are the sort of results that people get in the 5K Club. And it's absolutely amazing. And I love working with my clients up there. So if you've got any questions about the 5K Club, why you should even consider it, have a look. If you've got any questions, you can always PM me. Anybody who's watching the replay back, if you've got questions about content, I know that it can seem really overwhelming, but just think about the 3 different types of content. Think about how you can use them in your business in the way that I've described. And if you've got any questions, please come and ask me, because I really want for you to understand and start to use content very intentionally in your business, because your content is your marketing and it is your ability to grow your awesome business. So, okay, have a really great Wednesday, and I look forward to connecting with you all again really soon. Thank you for being here. Bye for now.